Hi, this is DJ Parata, Talking Vinyl, Episode 1. This is a brand new series where we're going to just kind of look at some old vinyl albums, or long plays, as some might call them, LPs. So we're going to just kind of look at some of the album jackets, the covers, and we'll just talk a little bit about um, the the band, the Bee Gees here. And this is going to be like an ongoing series. So we'll see how this one goes, right? Um, the first album that we're going to talk about is the Bee Gees. It's called 2 Years On. And this album came out in 1970, actually, originally. And the great thing about albums is that you could actually kind of like hold them, and that you could actually kind of, look at the, artwork, right? Uh, and the actual um, record itself. Yeah, instead of like a CD. Yeah. So anyway, this opens up nicely. This is the Bee Gees. Barry Gibb here, the older brother. That's Robin Gibb. That's Morris Gibb. They are twins, and Barry was the older brother, or he's still the older brother. But unfortunately, the twins, Robin and Morris, have passed away. So this came out originally in 1970. The big hit off of this album is a song called "Lonely Days," which was a comeback song for them because they had broken up. They had like kind of split up for like about a year or two prior. So so this was 1970, right? Now the next album that came out for them, this came out in 1971, an album called Trafalgar. So it's got this great kind of a painting, like during the British, war times, the ships. So, and this is the back of it, all right. And now, when you open up the jacket, inside has some nice artwork. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay. The big record, the big song that came off of this is "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart," and that's really one of the great Bee Gees love songs. Um, Unfortunately, I can't play the record for you. I actually can't play it for myself because I don't have a turntable right now. But if you would go to YouTube and just search for the song "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart," you will definitely get to hear the song, and it's one of the best songs. So so that was the Bee Gees Trafalgar album. Now this was 1971. So in between, um, in the early 70s, the Bee Gees still had a couple of maybe songs here and there, but they weren't big records. It wasn't until this album, Main Course, which came out in 1975. This one was their comeback album, and this is the back of it. Okay, the big records off of this was, ready, Jive Talking, Nights on Broadway, and Fanny. Three big songs. Um, these songs put them on the course, which in a few years later they would be a worldwide phenomena. But that would be a couple years later. Okay, so this was Main Course. 1975. Now we're going to look at an album from 1976, which is actually one of my favorite Bee Gees albums, but also I'm a big fan of this album cover. The artwork is like really cool, I think. Okay. Anyway, so you have Robin on the left, Barry in the middle, and Morris on the right. So, and this is the back of it. You know, that's how this album look like. RSO Records was their record label, and this was a big album. And the big songs that came off that was You Should Be Dancing, and Love So Right. Love So Right was a love song, a ballad, but You Should Be Dancing was a great disco record, so a great dance record. So check out those songs if you get a chance. All right. I kind of skipped the album. This Bee Gees album called Mr. Natural came out in 1974, actually, right before Main Course. And this would kind of lead the way to Main Course because the album itself, the sounds, or the songs were like kind of a little bit more like R&B-ish, and that's what Jive Talking was. And even though this wasn't a great album, still had a nice album cover, I think. All right, so that's Mr. Natural. All right. So then came 1977, Saturday Night Fever. This one like blew the roof off the house. This one went to the stratosphere. All right. From Saturday Night Fever, which was 1977, 3 mammoth hits came off of it. How Deep Is Your Love, Staying Alive, and Night Fever. And these were the singles. But another song that wasn't a single, More Than a Woman, which I'm sure many of you know. Another great. And this was a like tremendous best-selling album, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, which I don't actually own, by the way, not on vinyl. I have it on CD, but I have the DVD here, which is the movie. So so you could and I'm sure everyone has seen this movie. If you haven't seen it, you know, go check it out. I'm sure it's on Netflix somewhere, right? So after that success came 1979 when the Bee Gees released the follow-up album, and this would be their last like tremendous selling album until sometime in the mid-80s when they made another comeback, but the sales were no longer what it once was back in the 70s. So Spirits Having Flown, really also a big album. This is the jacket, okay, and this is the back of it, okay. The 3 big records that came off of the album, they were all #1s also. Tragedy, Too Much Heaven, Love You Inside and Out. So between the Spirits Having Flown album and the Saturday Night Fever, where you had these 3 songs, How Deep Is Your Love, Staying Alive, and Night Fever, these 6 songs all went to number one. So they so they actually had a streak of 6 straight number 1s, which was a big record at the time. Um, record setting. I mean, not just a record itself. So we're talking, Bee Gees, 1979, when they were really at the height. Just to show you that I just recently got this CD, which is the from Japan, which is the Children of the World, and it's a reissue. I never bought this on CD originally, so I just ordered this recently. So got that, and this was my copy of Spirits Having Flown on CD, which I got a number of years ago. And if you noticed it, I got it at Strand Bookstores, which is in Manhattan, downtown at the time, at the Strand Annex, which is no longer there. But and this was the CD. Okay, so that's that. Now, so while we're on the Bee Gees, I just want to mention that I was fortunate enough to see them in concert 2 times. One was in 1979 when they were on the Spirits Having Flown tour, which is this album that they were promoting at the time, and it was a great concert, huge concert, and then I got to see them again 10 years later, in 1989 at New York's Radio City Music Hall, and that was a big surprise because here I'll just quickly tell you the story. One night, one late afternoon when I was working, a colleague came by and said, "I have tickets for tonight's Bee Gees show, but I can't go. Does anyone want the tickets?" So tickets prices were actually much cheaper back then. So anyway, so I said, okay. And then another colleague of mine said he'll go. So we got his tickets, the two tickets. So the concert is at Radio City, which is a great place to watch a concert. And it's funny that when we got there, the usher was showing us the way, bringing us to our seats, and I noticed that the usher was walking like further and further down the aisle toward the stage, and I was wondering, why is he taking us so close to the stage? So he walks all the way to the front, the first row, center aisle, but to the left. He said, "Gentlemen, here's your seats." And it was the front row of Radio City. And that's the first time and only time that I've ever been to a concert where I'm in the front row. Because in Radio City, there's this big orchestra pit that's like right in between the first row and the stage. And I'll tell you, it was one great concert that evening. So that was 1989, the One for All concert, and they were promoting a album that they had released back then, 1989 actually, simply called One, and so that was like the best concert that I've ever been to. So anyway, just wanted to show you these Bee Gees albums, and in the next episode we'll look at some other artists. All right, Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, and please comment on this video, good or bad. All right. Thank you so much. This is DJ Parata signing out. Have a good day.